Hello and welcome to our astrological vibrations for Wednesday, August 3rd, 2022 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I lean into the healing feeling of love. And today we have Mercury finishing up in Leo. We're going to have Mercury at the final degrees of Leo throughout the day. And we are finishing up this particular mercurial yod today. So we've had that yod, which is like the finger of God. Now, people always ask me, like, what does this mean? A yod is always like, this is important. It's almost like what I see in my head when I see a yod, because I get images galore in my head. It's like literally like a neon sign that's like this. So, as we are finishing up the yod, pointing at Mercury in Leo, it's really important to connect our mental energy, or even to take it a further level, our consciousness to love. So, like, taking a moment, and even maybe starting off your day, or whenever you watch this, by, like, literally imagining more images. Imagining your consciousness like a rock falling into a lake or a river or a stream or some kind of body of water. Consciousness into the heart, and let that heart energy help work with your mind. I don't want to say dictate your mind, because it's not really about dictating the mind, but really like remind your mind of the energy of love, right? So that's part of this. Now, we still have, Neptune at a larger distance and Pluto feeding in. And Pluto can still bring up fear and places where we don't necessarily feel empowered, even when it comes to love energy, or where we may need to be empowered by love energy. So be aware of that as this energy is finishing up. As of, 11:58 p.m. Pacific time, we will have Mercury moving into Virgo. So I will explore that in tomorrow's scope, because technically that's really just going to be, Thursday. I'm like, what day is that going to be? Yes, okay. So, brains are working super well today. Moon in Libra is making the majority of the rest of the connections, although today we have the Sun at 11 degrees, so that's a mastery degree. So, between Neptune moving through that 29th degree, which we should address a little bit more, 29th master degree, and the Sun at 11, we're having some master Leo energy come for us. And that reminds us, again, where can we utilize the energy of love to help support whatever we are going through? I know I keep mentioning it. This is like a really huge thing in my life right now is Joe's accident that he was in and his recovery that he's now going through, coming home this week, yay. But I, as much as possible, have been trying to face this with love and gratitude, and even the approach of, what if nothing is going wrong? What if this is unfolding as it should, for a higher lesson for both he and I, and how do I approach that? And when I hold a loving space and a space of gratitude, it's much better than when I start getting in my head and spinning stories. So I invite you to do the same with whatever is coming up and moving through for you. How do you approach it with love? And it's multi-layers of love. Love for the universe. Love for yourself. Love for another, if there's another in the situation. Love of your values. That's a really important thing right now. So there's so many layers that you can take it to. What's showing up for you, and how do you approach it with love? Moon in Libra is making the rest of the connections through the day. We start with a square to Venus, a trine with Saturn, and a square with Pluto in the late evening hours. Squaring with Venus and Pluto. So Venus moving through Cancer. This to me, this square, this challenge that we're feeling, maybe where you're being challenged to show up for yourself in regards to what your self-care, what your basic needs may be. And it's recognizing if you are out of balance, like Moon in Libra, where am I not showing up for myself? Libra has such a tendency to support others before the self. And Cancer can kind of do that as well. So be aware of that between those two energies, where you may be approaching something and pulling yourself out of balance by not acknowledging what your needs are first and foremost. Like, you know that old saying, like, put your own oxygen mask on first. Like, there's a reason for that, you know? Or fill your own cup before you're trying to fill others. So be aware of that in and through this energy. And be aware of that even in others. Even if others are like trying to show up, maybe be aware. If there's like something's feeling off, check in with your balance and check in where you're showing up, again, for your needs, for self-care energy. Moon square Pluto can definitely have a power dynamic showing up. Again, this could be with another, this could be within yourself. This card has shown up like every day this week, right? So it's the compromise card, which is the don't compromise card. So really check and see like where, and this may be even looking at the places that you are compromising. Are you compromising your values? Are you compromising love? Are you compromising the personal care? Are you compromising your balance? And again, maybe that compromise is needed in some part, but maybe there's ways that you can even compromise the compromise. Oh my God. Okay, like, can we quantum leap the compromise? Because it just keeps showing up. So there's definitely a reason for that in this. That Pluto also may cause angst. It may cause some fear energies bubbling up. So be prepared to face those energies, not sweep it under the rug. Sometimes Libra doesn't want to deal with things that feel uncomfortable, and the inner child's like, no thank you. The ego's also like, no thank you. So you may be tempted to do that, but you may also find an empowering solution if you're willing to look at whatever this thing is that's popping up for you. Moon trine Saturn. Saturn's also at a master degree, 22. Got a lot of mastery going on for us today. Saturn and Aquarius, Moon in Libra, air signs activated in and through this energy. Between Libra and Aquarius, it always feels like a really great time to connect outside of ourselves. And what I'm kind of feeling is like, again, holding space for things that may be outside your normal realm, holding space for what you may learn from them, and maybe even like reaching out to that, if that makes sense. Like reaching out to somebody who holds a different viewpoint or whatever. There's definitely some expansive energy in all of this mastery today. And again, if we can approach it with love, it doesn't mean, like if somebody believes something different than you, it doesn't mean that you have to believe what they believe, especially if it's like, not aligning with your values or whatever. But to be able to hold space for people having different experiences, different opinions, I think that could go a long way in this world, right? So just be aware of that there may be some of those situations. And again, we're being called to show up for those energies in love. Let's see, what cards do we have? We've got some creator energy, King of Wands. This is some really powerful, creator energy. So keep that in mind through your day. We also have the celebration card. I always say this card is like hard times require furious dancing, and I get by with a little help from my friends, which is 100% how I'm currently operating. But see where do you need to reach out for a little support for your friends to help yourself move through these things? Maybe it's even, again, getting their insight. I can't tell you how wonderful my friends' insight have been through this Joe situation. People see things different than us, from different perspectives, and it's amazing the whoa, ahas that people can bring you. We also have the trust card, which has definitely been showing up a lot. And this just feels like, again, in the general unfolding of things, how can you hold the space for trust of this unfolding? Trust and love, I think, can definitely go hand in hand in this case. So, leaving this here for today. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Please keep the Joe prayers coming. I hope in a few days I can be like, he's here, but you know, I do not want to jinx it. So I'm holding space for it to unfold how it needs to. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and honor your values. Namaste.